to the Why Not Us podcast.
Well, fellas, welcome back. Episode 8 of the Why Not Us podcast. I like the merch we got going around. Nice hats, nice shirts, jerseys. We're coming to you Sunday. This is 2 days after the Friday game for BYU versus West Virginia. Another good home win by the Cougars. Depends on who you ask if it was a good home win or not. We'll get into that a little bit here in a minute. But
any win's a good win.
That's true. But good win for the Cougs. Moved up to number 18 in the AP poll and the coaches poll. So I think that's pretty fair at this point, I would say. I'm not disappointed with that and wouldn't expect them to be any higher. So I'm pretty happy with that. And Dad, you were down at the game. Why don't you just let us know how was the atmosphere down there? Another home game at night.
Yeah, the Friday games are always interesting because you got the workday traffic and all that, and then people getting to the stadium. With all that being said, it started late enough at 8:30 that I think the stands were pretty much full by the time the game started. And good atmosphere as always. LaVell Edwards Stadium, 63,000 plus fans in the stands. Energy was good. It was interesting that although the energy was good, it wasn't that the fever pitch that you feel at some games, like K-State last year. Of course, that was exceptional. So that's hard to compare with. But the crowd got into it. Good atmosphere, good game. We'll talk about the game more, but the drone show was elite. They put on quite a show down there at the stadium first. So if anybody that's listening to this has not gone down there, you need to make it at least once. Show was good. Third quarter is always spectacular. Transition between third and fourth quarter, but it was good. Fans were into it, and it was a great atmosphere on Friday night in Provo, Utah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't just watching the game on TV. I didn't get the normal camera shake that I'm used to on the third downs. Didn't seem like it was quite as loud, and we're picking splitting hairs there a little bit. But
you would be correct.
So I'll send it to Jace first. I'll let him say his piece. I've got a lot to say about this game, so I'll send it over to Jace first. Let's see, just get your thoughts on West Virginia.
So, I'm with everybody. It's probably the most disappointing win that we've had in a long time, right? But that comes from just a sense of our experience in our first turnovers of the year, going in knowing that we should have beaten this team 21 plus, and we didn't. You got the team up north that is comparing the amount of texts and stuff. Freaking Gordon called it last week. There was going to be immediate response, and I could share clips and pictures of dumb Utah fans who are like, "Oh, Utah's a better team than BYU now because we beat West Virginia by more." And so, I feel those emotions. But what gives me hope is that we had those turnovers against this West Virginia team, and not necessarily a team that it was going to really hurt us and probably cost us a loss. This game never fell out of hand. We beat ourselves. West Virginia had, I don't know the exact number, but it felt like they had 17 points on 25 yards total. And so we put ourselves in a really, really tough position that made them look a lot better than what they were, made us look worse than what we are. And so face value, yes, disappointing, but to what Kalani says a lot, I'm grateful that we get to learn from this and put a win in the category at the same time.
Yeah, and a win, I will never complain about a win. And to add another win in, 5-0, we know there's only Texas Tech and BYU now, the only undefeated teams in the conference overall. So I can't complain about that. But I just so the turnovers were disappointing. The interception that Bear threw, I'm not actually that mad about. It was a great play by the linebacker. The pitch that he threw was a little rough that led straight to a touchdown. So I wasn't thrilled about that either. But I don't know what it was. I just walked away from the game feeling like if we play like that next week against Arizona, and I said this as we text this week, Arizona will beat us. We can't afford 2 turnovers. We can't afford garbage points at the end of the game if it's a close game. Arizona is a better team, and the competition is going to get better and better. And Rebel tweeted it out, like I mentioned. Our opponents that we beat are combined 9 and 19. The rest of our opponents are combined 29 and 7. So the competition is just going to get way harder. And I know it's like, oh, we can fix the penalties or we can fix this, but it's every game. We're stalling in the red zone. We're false starts. We're this, we're that. And those points are points that are going to lose us games. So I'm a little nervous moving into Arizona, to be frank. But anyway.
And I mentioned this. I texted Houston. I got to give him some crap, and it's all love. But I'm just like, me and Houston are the perfect complements of each other because I can probably be a little too optimistic, and we'll be one play in the game, and at BYU, doesn't get a first down, and Houston thinks we're losing the game, and so it's so funny, and it's all love. But there are a lot of aspects that I agree with, Houston. Like, yes, we have to clean those up, and I don't want my optimism to be an excuse for being okay with like poor play because it was not good. Like it was not good.
Okay.
So what does give me hope is Kalani. He was pissed. Like he was furious.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
So Phil, can I be the voice of reason here down the
middle?
Yes,
please.
Please.
So
please.
I threw the stats out here. So I think as you're talking, one of the reasons why it feels so bad to everybody is we dominated the game, but the score did not show it. Yeah, we made mistakes. The turnovers hurt. The penalties hurt. So just quick look at the stats. 516 yards of offense for us, 291 for West Virginia. We had 351 yards of passing. They had 135. We had 165 rush yards. They had 156. They possessed the ball 5 more minutes, but we had 22 more first downs. So you put that in perspective, and I understand the turnovers. When you play a better team, and stats will bear it up, if you're minus negative in the turnover margin, most of the time, 95% of the time, you're going to lose. So you can't have the turnovers. I thought our holding penalties really hurt us. That we've got to clean up. Again, 2 things that you can control. And I thought we did a pretty good job. The only thing, Big Game Bill missed another field goal early on. But outside of that, I don't recall us stalling in the red zone this week. I think we finished off drives much better than we have. So, and then the garbage touchdown at the end. We've got the backups in. The guy throws a strike down there. Kalani says, after the game, his interview, the last comment he makes is, I know people are upset because I nailed on the ball, but that's just the way we do things here. So I see both sides. I don't want to be too overly optimistic, but I don't want to be too gloom and doom because we really played a pretty darn good game. And
we got to get that Ute out of Keanu. Just slap that Ute right out of him so he doesn't do stupid crap.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yeah, that was dumb. That was a dumb play.
That's 3.5 years of being a Ute. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, so I get it. We're all fans, and Kalani's a fan. I think that's why Kalani was so upset after the game because he is like all of us, and he says all the time, "I'm still a BYU fan." And so he shows his emotions out there as a BYU fan, and the turnovers, he was ticked. And then right after that is when Tiger fumbles it out of bounds. And I went back and watched the game recorded on ESPN, and the announcers, boy, that coach is not going to be happy now. And
he fumbled it right into Kalani's lap.
Yeah,
I know.
So anyway, there's a lot to clean up. Anyway, and we'll talk about Arizona here in a minute, but I see improvement. So here's the big take. Bear Bachmeier is a legit quarterback. He is the second best freshman quarterback rating wise in the country. As a true freshman, number 1 is a redshirt freshman playing for Notre Dame. Yeah. So, a lot of good there, but also you just moving forward with the competition, you can't turn the ball over. In my mind, that's the key right now. We were turnover free. You just can't turn the ball over. Penalties will happen. Make sure they're aggressive penalties, not stupid like offsides or false starts. And we had some of those, which are dumb.
Yeah.
But you cannot turn the ball over and win these games going forward.
100%. Well, and that's the thing is, having said all of those things, we can't overlook how good Bear played in this game. I mean, he threw for 350 something yards. He made 2 or 3 throws that were NFL type throws. The one to Chase, who was on the wide out man-to-man on the corner, and then the one over the middle to Parker in between 3 guys was incredible. That's an NFL throw.
Yeah.
So don't want to overshadow how well Bear played in this game, not to mention another rushing touchdown, made some great reads in the RPO. Guy's solid. He's getting better and better every week. So it's good. I mean, I'll take 5-0. we're going to hear it from Utah fans about how we're not as good because they came to Provo and we can't beat them by 40 and blah, 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 blah. But matchups are different every week, and I'm just a little nervous. We're moving into the toughest part of the season right now, and it's going to be brutal. Arizona and Utah and Iowa State and Texas Tech. I hate to sound like Jerem Jordan, but that is a gauntlet right now.
It is. But hey, we're 5-0. I think the thing that really makes me very optimistic is the offense is improving every week. And so if we had stayed back where we were after week 1 or week 2, I'd be really nervous. But I think we were to the point now, if our defense doesn't shut someone down to less than 20 points, we can win the game because the offense has the ability to move the ball. And quick strike. I mean, we had like 7 or 8 plays over 20-plus yards against West Virginia. So,
that's a big deal.
That's huge.
Yeah, I think my optimism, because again, I'm not naive enough to think that we can go undefeated for the rest of the season. I think that's overly optimistic and a little naive. Definitely hope for it. Definitely I'm going to cheer for it. But to Gordon's point, I think our offense is insanely good. I don't think we've given them enough credit because of how much we prioritize our defense, and the defense is elite. But we've been saying it all year. As long as we can score, I still think that 17-point benchmark is it. If our defense can hold any team to 17 points, which there's not a team in the country that I don't think that they can do that with, our offense can score. And I think that we have the capability to score more than 17 points a game, which is why I'm like, as long as we can stop the stupid mistakes, we're going to be just fine.
Yeah. Yep. And a couple things real quick. I'll throw a stat out at you is one. P4 teams that are top 25 in yards per play on offense and defense, BYU is one of them. So top 25 on both offense and defense in yards per play. The other thing that I think bodes well in our favor is we can control the clock. Second half, we get the kickoff, we go down the field, we take 8 minutes off the clock in the third quarter. Without West Virginia ever touching the ball. If you can do that on a consistent basis, you will win ball games.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's a big stat. And last year, comparing to last year through 5 or 6 games, or even, just kind of how we've played. I think our last year in Independence when we played a bunch of Pac-12 teams, and then last year, compare those seasons to this year, we were winning games, but you look down at the stat line and we're not even in the top 50 in offense, top 50 in defense. Like we just were finding ways to win the game. This year we have won games and dominated, and the stats are showing that in every game we have controlled the game from the beginning. Maybe with the exception of Colorado, but as the stats played out for the rest of the game, we dominated the second half and came out with the win. So I do feel better moving forward. Just can't have any stupid.
I freaking love you, Hughes. I freaking love you, dude.
because I'll be the first one to say that I want us to win every game, and there is a part of me that thinks we can win every game. We have the talent, we have the team, the coaching staff to win every game, but we have not played very tough competition so far. We played some of our hardest teams at home at night, so we'll see how we do on Arizona on the road. But anyway. Well, so speaking of that, we've been hinting a little bit. We've been kind of previewing whatever out there that we're going to have some guests on. So we're super, super excited today. We have Blaine Wright on, friend of the program, family member as well. So we're super happy to have him join us
from the
today.
Other side of the state. We'll say that.
From the other side of the state, yes, exactly.
That's his only downside, but
yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, he's basketball coach out there at Columbia High School, so check them out. Shout out to them. And let's go ahead and get him on here. Blaine, welcome to it.
What's up, guys?
Howdy, Blaine.
Thanks for having me on.
You bet.
Yeah, go Cats.
He won't say it, but he introduced to Columbia basketball. We're saying future state champions.
Ooh,
Columbia.
man.
I'm calling it right now. I want it documented. They are going to the state championship, so keep an eye out for Columbia.
I love that. Thank you. We'll take it. We'll take it. I love it.
No, welcome to it, Blaine. Well, yeah, we're glad to have you on, and just maybe give us some more voice of reason here. I want to just hear your overall thoughts for BYU through the season, including West Virginia. Just tell us how you feel this season.
Yeah, I was listening to you guys talk, and I'm really excited to pick a side here. And like I can't wait, but I got to go with Gordon on this one. So why is that? Like you mentioned I'm a basketball coach, and so we talk about it as a team. How do you win games when things aren't necessarily going well? What things can you do in moments? And football's such a game plan specific sport week by week. And if your game plan doesn't really work, how do you adjust? Which I kind of felt like that's the way it was in the Colorado game. Like all of a sudden, oh crap, this quarterback's really athletic and can get out of the pocket and cause us some issues. And I didn't feel like our game plan didn't work against West Virginia. I thought it worked very well because I thought, as Gordon said, we dominated that game. Dominated it, except for a few miscues. Like Jay said, two touchdowns and a field goal off of, it was like 27 total yards.
Yeah,
and so you just can't shoot yourself in the foot. And I think one of the biggest things for me is I'm going to call out A-Rod right now. I'm going to call him out, not necessarily for his play calling, but because we are not last year's team. Last year's team was big play after big play. Like we didn't really dominate stat-wise, but we dominated in some big aggressive plays. Every time we try to go east-west this season, we try to play sideline to sideline, we get stuffed. We get stopped. We are a north-south physical, up in your face. When we're passing in the middle of the field to, our tight ends and handing off to LJ. And when we're north-south, man, good things happen. When we are east-west, I just haven't seen a ton of success sideline to sideline. And so I'd love to see going forward into these games with Arizona and Utah. And I don't think Arizona can handle our physicality. I don't think Utah can handle our physicality. And as we learn more of who we are, especially offensively, because, guess what? Light bulb, we've got a really good quarterback. Like he's a freaking stud. And we know we've got a great running back. And hello, welcome to BYU tight ends again. Where have you been for the last 10 years, right? Like now all of a sudden Ryan shows up and we've got a stud, in the tight end wheel game. And so now we've got options. And when we're going north and south, man, we're a good offense. And as Jay said, our defense is elite. We can hang with anyone in the country. This is probably the first time I've been a BYU fan a long time with a lot of heartache. And this might be the first season that I go into every game going, why not us, boys? Why not us?
There we go.
Let's go.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's no reason that we shouldn't be in every, and if we lose, great. Like, but we're not, I just don't see us getting blown out ever. Like I shouldn't say ever again, but I don't see us getting blown out by anybody. We got a chance to compete with everyone.
Yeah.
No,
what a time to be a Coug fan for that reason, Blaine. Because, I think it was you, Blaine, who made this comment the other day when we were talking. Like 2 years ago, we were just praying to be bowl eligible. Like we're just hoping to win 6 games. And here we are 5-0 and we're expecting more. Like we're expecting greatness. And we're
pissed.
Yeah. And
what the freak, man?
And rightfully so, right? Because we're freaking good. We're freaking good.
Yeah.
So we should expect more.
Yeah. To your point, do you hear any conversation this year about getting bowl eligible? If we win next weekend, we are bowl eligible, and you have not heard one word, because the expectation is not get to a bowl game. The expectation is we're going to win the conference. We're going to freaking go to the playoff.
I bought my freaking Arlington tickets. I expect us to be in Arlington.
So, yeah, I think the good news for this week is it sounds like the injury to Jack Kelly might not be as severe as first thought. And Glasgow actually had an argument on the sideline and got in on the good hands team on the onside kick. which the coaches didn't want him out there. They kept him out the second half as a precautionary measure. But yeah, that was like kind of a low blow to get those. That was a, kind of a pit in the stomach. But
yeah, and
those
to your
guys
point,
are NFL studs.
To your point earlier, Gordon, that late touchdown that they got against our backups, yes. So to your point, Houston, we're not quite there yet. We don't have 5 stars in our third, our third wave in the depth chart.
Yep.
Like we've still got some depth issues, which can cause some problems. There's so much luck involved in a season when you stay healthy, and when literally the heart and soul of your defense is no longer there. Yeah. They showed they could go right down the field and score. Yeah. And so, if we're healthy, we're in it. We got to stay healthy, but we got some good young bucks, man. I'm so excited for the rest of the season.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. And the tough thing is, the other thing, West Virginia played their 4th string quarterback. 5th string came in at one point. They ran it 49 times on QB draw. So it's tough to how do you game plan as a defensive coordinator for QB draw every down? Because you got the +1 with the quarterback running every time. So it's so, and they really didn't move the ball that much. No. And if you go back and look at the numbers, I'm sitting there throwing my phone. I can't even believe I need to be in Jay Hill's headset right now. What is going on with this? But no, the defense actually played well.
That defensive adjustment Hill made in the second half of the Colorado game was unbelievable. Yeah. He stacked Glasgow and Kelly, and one had the quarterback and the other guy had the running back in that read option game, and they had no answer for it. They didn't move. Yeah, it was unbelievable. That guy is – pay him whatever we have to pay that guy.
Yes.
Doesn't matter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Make him associate head coach, whatever. Pay that man, please.
Yes. Well, he is associate head coach. So,
perfect.
But to your point, looking at the game with the quarterback run, and maybe it's because it's a quarterback run and it feels like it's worse than if it's the running back. But then they flash up in the stadium there the stats for the game, and it was late into the 3rd or early 4th quarter, and West Virginia still only had 179 yards. They only had 25 or 30 yards passing, or 40, some ridiculous number. So it felt horrible, but they still had less than 200 yards of total offense for the game because of our gifts to them for 14 points. It just felt horrible, but it really wasn't.
Yeah, you hold teams to 179 yards offense, you're going to win a national championship.
Heck yeah.
That's true. Yeah, that's good. That's
yep.
good. So, well, let's transition into Arizona a little bit. So, yeah, Blaine, start us off and just give us your take on the Arizona matchup, what you see that we might struggle with, we might be able to capitalize on. How you feel about that
one? We need our linebackers for sure, right? But I think Arizona is going to struggle with our physicality. They've struggled. They're 4-1. It's not like they're a terrible football team. Their quarterback's a stud. He seems to be hot and cold. I've watched about 1.5 of their games, but thinking about what he did last year versus what he did this year, they've definitely got an NFL wide receiver. They're talented. And so I like the matchup. I think we match up well, and I think they're going to have a heck of a time stopping our run game. I would just love to see us go north and south and make them stop us. But we're not going to blow this team out. I think it's going to be a closer game than people want. But once again, I think we're going to look up at the scoreboard at a 17-point margin, and we're just going to win another football game.
I like it. I like it.
You can say stats don't lie, but sometimes they're misleading. So, I threw some stuff out there. Speaking of who Arizona's played: Hawaii, Weber State, K-State, Iowa State, Oklahoma State. Their stats look gaudy, but the P4 teams they've played, Kansas State, they beat them, but it's 23-17. They didn't put up 40 points like they did on the other teams. Lost to Iowa State 39-14. Oklahoma State is the worst team, not only in the conference, but one of the worst P4 teams in the country. and they beat them 41-13. So I agree, Arizona's a good team, but I don't know that the stats bear out that they're as good as what their national rankings as far as defense and offense say, just based on their level of competition they played.
Yeah, for sure. Jace, how are you feeling about this? I know you don't you think we're going to go in and win by 30, but
No, yeah, I don't think it's going to be any different than last year. Last year we came in and dominated them. As good of a quarterback as they have, he struggled against us, and I don't think it's going to be any different. I think our defense handles them. I think that we are going to move the ball at will, and I expect a 21-point game at the very least.
So a couple things that I think are concerning Arizona, and granted, competition, like my dad pointed out already, it's not been great, but they're second in pass efficiency defense, which that worries me a little bit. That's been a stat that's kind of shown that it's a pretty good predictor of how teams will do over the season and how they'll win games, is that pass efficiency defense. So they are second there. Granted, I think Bear will do just fine. I think he'll play well. But it seems to be the strategy against BYU is we will not let LJ Martin beat us. So we're going to stack the box with 7-8 guys. We're going to make them throw the ball, and we're going to make Bear run. Because Colorado, ECU, even into this West Virginia game, I mean, how many plays are we just handing the ball off and there's 4 guys tackling LJ Martin immediately? So it's kind of, at least it appears to me, the defensive strategy for our opponents has been LJ Martin will not beat us. So I think we're going to have to rely on the pass again quite a bit and the Bear run game, which I hate to keep seeing him running so much because it makes me nervous.
Well, if his runs are between 10 and 12 runs, I'm okay with that. If he gets up to 15, 18, or like West Virginia's quarterback, I think he had 25 runs, then you're just looking to have your quarterback out for the season. That's just way too much, a couple numbers, Houston, talking about the offense. So I looked it up. So on offense, Arizona is averaging 430 yards a game, defense 245, which the 245 is 10th. BYU 452 on the yards per game on offense, and we're limiting teams to 240 yards, which is 8th in the nation. So statistically very similar on both sides of the ball there with what's going on. So
and I'm going to throw this out because this is a question. So to Houston's point, it seems like the strategy for any defense that's played us so far is to stop LJ. Is that why we're trying to go east and west? Like, I'm not an offensive coordinator, but is that why A-Rod is trying to do screens and to open up that box a little bit? And if that answer is yes, but that's still not working, is the only other answer to go north and south, or what can BYU do to open up the run game for LJ?
I would say we saw a couple things. The pass game, because Chase Roberts mentioned that with the going down the field. You do that a bunch, they're not going to be able to keep as many guys in the box. And then I think the other thing you saw it in the West Virginia game is you had LJ out there, and it was unfortunately DeMooney, the guy who fumbled, but they had him in the backfield at the same time, and the ball was going to DeMooney and not to AJ. And he had like 6 or 7 yards on both of those carries. I think that's what you do moving forward. Is you put LJ out there. If you don't find one to key on, we'll hand off to one of these other guys. If we get 7 yards on a carry, we got 2nd and 3. I think that's what you do. Not so much, going sideline to sideline. I don't know that that's a great strategy. As Blaine had pointed out, those side screens seem to go like for -1 yard every time we throw them.
Yeah, agreed. And I mean, you got to have some sort of a screen game, right? Like it is the extension of the run game. I like when we get to the edge. I mean, I know the guy tipped the speed option play, which hurt, but man, think about how effective that's been over the last couple of years. Like, I mean, the guy made a great play. And so now you talk to your freshman quarterback about how you handle the guy that you got to read, right? So I love the edge. I think we've got to find a way to incorporate the play action game. I know we're in the pistol, we're in the shotgun, but you can still incorporate that play action game and hold those linebackers and hold those guys in the box and try to get those dudes behind them more. And we're willing to throw the ball deep. Like that read when the safety came down and he hit Chase Roberts, when Bear hit Chase Roberts on the money and he went 90 yards, that is That one was an elite throw, was an absolute elite throw. And so you got to find a way to hold guys for a count and then go right at them. I just don't feel like we've done that going sideline to sideline.
Yeah, I agree. Well, and to A-Rod's credit and Bear and everybody else's credit for executing, we have come out, and the announcers pointed this out on ESPN, we've come out on the opening of drives in the first half and the second half, and we've thrown a 70-yard pass on the first play. I actually love that. And Bear has made it clear that he can make the throws. And also, dude, I don't know if this is him, but I think he's thrown more pass interference penalties open for us than any quarterback I've ever seen. And I don't know if that's on purpose and he's seeing like, oh, this guy's beat, I'm going to throw it there anyway. The guy just makes good reads. He can put the ball on the money anywhere on the field. And I'm kind of with Blaine, the north and south. I think we need to get receivers down the field. We need to. A-Rod's got a good scheme in his little sail routes where we've got a guy going all the way down the field. We've got a guy either hitting a corner or a post route, crossing routes deep down the field. I think we find some success with that. So
yeah, Houston, to your point, I would say the Bear is smart enough. I'll give you one play in the West Virginia game where he threw the ball knowing it was PI, Chase Roberts in the end zone. He absolutely threw that at the back of the defender because he knew it was PI and they were going to get the penalty because the guy didn't know where the ball was. The defender had no idea. He just threw right in the middle of the defender's back and that's PI.
I mean, let's not forget he's a Stanford guy. Like, he's smart. He's a smart dude. And I'll throw one more stat out here. Switching over to the defense and talking about Arizona. I feel like against pocket passers, we are really good. Like, we have the most success against pocket passers. Fafita has 42 carries for 45 yards. Like, he doesn't want to get out of the pocket and run. And so that is one area, as good as he is. And I think he's better than he's playing. He's got 1,300 yards passing. Like, the dude can sling it around, and he's he's small, but if we can keep him in the pocket, man, like Jay said, it's going to look a lot like last year.
Yeah, that's the key. I concur.
Well, I'm gonna say this every game continuing forward. We'll see how good we are after this next game. I'm excited.
You sound like all the other boys. Well, our next game will be the toughest opponent we've played yet.
And you know what? That's got to be – I guess that's the way you got to look at it. This is the toughest opponent we've had on the schedule. We got to prepare for it, and we got to win this game. And as much as I hate it as a fan, the mentality of we got to focus on the next game, and if we win, if we go 1-0 next week, then we'll be great. If you go 1-0 16 times, you're the national champion. Yeah. So – we just got to take care of Arizona this week.
Well, I'll say that. Can I add one more thing to that?
Yep.
Gordon and I, we're not spring chickens anymore. We've been waiting for Big 12, meaningful football, good football teams. Man, this has been enjoyable.
Yes,
it's been so great, and it's been so much fun as a BYU fan. Because I remember some miserable seasons, and I've watched BYU for 30 years, 40 years, and it's man, there's just no better time to be a BYU fan than right now.
Amen.
Yes, agreed. Well, I'm excited for this week. Arizona, we have a game time on that already.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Okay.
6 o'clock Mountain Time.
That is Mountain Daylight Time, meaning Idaho, Utah time, not Arizona time. Correct.
Not Arizona time. That is correct. Okay. Idaho time.
Sounds good. Okay, well, with that, we're going to keep Blaine on today for the Pick Ems, so we'll look forward to see what he's got on tap for us, and we'll go on head over into that. Okay, well, as always, we're going to start off with Jace. He's going to give us a rundown of where we're at on the Pick'ems, and then we'll
wild week of football. Holy cow. Some big upsets. It was a really fun week of football. Notable, the Cincinnati-Iowa State game, crazy. Texas losing, crazy. Penn State losing. That wasn't even on our Pick'ems because we just figured that was going to be
not in the AP top 25 now.
Yeah,
nope, both gone.
That it was just,
and
an
they were
insane
sorry.
week of
One
football.
side note: they were 1-2 to start the season.
Yes, and they're
Yeah.
both gone.
Anyway,
Just crazy. But yeah, so our pick'ems were good after the tally of our pick'ems. I am sitting at 24 points. Gordon is sitting at 21 points, and Houston is sitting at 20 points. I did not get my underdog. I don't believe Houston got his underdog, but Gordon did. So Gordon, that was a great underdog pick. But let's go through those real quick. So the Cincinnati-Iowa State game was the first one that we had on the list. Cincy played a good game, guys.
Yes,
They
they
played
did.
a
They look
really
good.
good game.
they look good.
88% of our voters chose Iowa State there, so that was a big upset
Yeah.
for our voters. Colorado TCU, also a really good game. That was where I believe we got some diversity in our pick'ems as well. But 67% of our voters chose TCU and 33% chose Colorado. Miami Florida State game, very heavily favored, voting towards Miami, rightfully so. And Miami seemed to control that game very well. As I mentioned, Gordon's underdog pick was that Air Force would cover the 10.5 point spread over Navy, and they did. It was I think it was a 3-point game.
3-point game. Yep. Air
Correct,
Force turned
yeah.
it over later. They could have won that game.
Yeah, very, very good game. My underdog pick, and it's one of those that I'm happy I lost too, because I freaking can't stand Boise State. But my underdog pick was Boise State covers the spread against Notre Dame. I knew they weren't going to win. Notre Dame's too good. Boise's struggling, but 70% of our voters chose Notre Dame on that one. There were 20% of our voters that chose Boise to win that game outright. So we know that's a state issue of just some
Yeah.
Boise State lovers that can't help themselves, but I can't blame them.
There's
You know what I mean?
Utah fans are the most number one delusional fans in the country. Number 2 is Boise State fans.
Yes. Amen.
And then Houston was the Purdue versus Illinois, and Illinois handled business, man. Like
They did.
They beat
Yeah,
that
they
one
did.
pretty handily. So yeah, a really good overall picks for everybody, but just a wild week of football. That was a fun one.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, Dad, we'll send it over to you. Give us the game and your pick, and then we'll just go around and.
All right, sounds good. So we have 4 teams ranked in the top 25 and the 25 in the Big 12, which is fun. So, normally we probably wouldn't put the team up north on our pick'ems, but they are playing number 21 Arizona State is at Utah this week. And here's my shout out to our friends up north. You have not won a Big 12 game in your home stadium yet. And after this week, you will still have not won a Big 12 game in your home stadium. Arizona State will come into Rice Eccles and they will take care of business against the Utes and they will win.
I like it. Well, I'm just going to preface this by saying this is all in good name of the pick'ems, and I need to gain some ground this week. And I don't think Arizona State's that good.
They're better than Utah.
Their defense is okay. I haven't really played anybody either, so I don't know. I'm actually going to take Utah here. I think they've got the better defense, and that's going to be the difference in the game. I think it'll be a low scoring one, maybe 24-21 type score, but I think Utah will take care of it.
No amount of fake crowd noise is going to save this Utah team. Arizona State is going to win, and Utah will continue their losing streak at home against the Big 12.
Yeah, Rice Eccles is a tough place to play, right? I mean, that's not a secret, but I think this comes down to Levitt's legs, and he's a freaking warrior, dude. Like, the guy is a warrior. So yeah, I'm Arizona State.
All right, there it is.
I got to take one somewhere to get points back next time. So.
Yes, you do.
I wish you luck, because chalk it down. You ain't getting a dang point on this one.
We'll see who has the last say next week. All right, next one on the docket, we got Kansas at number 9, Texas Tech. I tell you what, I'm a believer in Texas Tech. They've looked pretty good on both sides of the ball. They handled Houston last week, and maybe Houston wasn't as good as we thought, but I think Texas Tech is pretty legit. So I got to go with Texas Tech on this one. Kansas, they've been up and down. The one week they look like they're just Big 12 champs. The next week they look like they're Oklahoma State. So I got to go with Texas Tech.
Yeah, I don't think there's much to say on this one. The Red Raiders look really good. That $27 million looks like money well spent to this point. So
yes, indeed.
give me Tech.
Yeah, I mean, Utah's best resume builder this year is a loss to the number 9 team in the country, and it's rightfully so. Texas Tech is legit. They will win this game. Their defense is elite, and their quarterback duo is incredible. So.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not going to break pattern here. It's Texas Tech right now. They're the best team in the Big 12. And I'm really looking forward to that game in a few weeks. But it's right now they're the best team. Give me Texas Tech.
Yep.
There we go. All right. We have our next one. We have number 22, Iowa State at Colorado. And if Jay sticks with his pick, I can see he's not a man of his word because he's not been an Iowa. He said, I'm not an Iowa State man, but also now he's an Iowa State man. I just have to give him a little crap here.
Yeah.
Colorado is really, I think, not that far away from being a couple victories more than what they've got. Really, their quarter Salter, I'm not a huge fan. He's so inconsistent. But with all that said, I think Colorado at home, Iowa State, I really don't think is as good as they were cracked up to be. I think Colorado takes care of Iowa State at home.
Yeah, it's a good pick. I went back and forth here. I think the only reason I'm going to go Iowa State is they're coming off a loss. I think they're going to be – I don't know. I think they're going to be ready to go. They're going to be pissed off from Cincinnati. They're going to have a lot to prove. Colorado, yeah. Just don't know. We'll see. It's going to be a really close game. But give me Iowa State.
Yeah, I'm staying with my pick. I'm still, like, to Gordon's point, I'm not an Iowa State believer, but I do think that the quarterback situation at Colorado is a big enough deficit for them that they're not going to be able to pull out the win, unfortunately. So give me Iowa State on this one.
I thought I was going to be a lone wolf on this one, Gordon. I'm with you. I think Colorado's getting better, and I think Iowa State struggles with speed. It's going to be an absolute slugfest when we play them, but I think if Colorado doesn't turn the ball over, Iowa State is going to really struggle with their speed. So give me Colorado at home.
All right. Way to go, brother.
It's a good pick. It's a good pick. It'll be a good one.
Excuse me. All right. So our national pick 'em, and I have I probably have a lot to say about this. So we got number 7 Indiana and number 3 Oregon. Here's my say on this. If our freaking poll means anything at all, how in the heck is Oregon favored by 2 touchdowns if this is a top 10 matchup? So just saying. With all that said, Oregon is going to win this game.
All right. I like it. Yeah, I've got a couple notes on this game. Penn State's terrible, so that puts into question how good Oregon is. I know they had to go on the road to play in Happy Valley. Penn State and Texas, by the way, number 1 and number 2, I'm just going to keep on my soapbox about the top 25, have not beat a Power 4 team this season.
Yep.
So at this point, I don't even know what the rankings, to be honest. I mean, I think Indiana is going to win this game. I'm taking Indiana. Go Hoosiers. Don't think Oregon is as good as everyone says they are. Indiana needs a marquee win. They've been waiting to kind of move themselves up into that next level in the Big Ten, so I think they'll get it done.
So I'm on the opposite end. I think to go off of the Texas Tech's recipe for success, the money talks, and Oregon has a lot of it, and so they've got a lot of talent on that team. I think they win.
All right.
I think Indiana is better than people think. I think they're going to be a playoff team. That being said, they don't have near as many dudes as Oregon. This game, Oregon wins and they cover.
Hey,
I like that. Okay. I like that.
I'm still
well, there's another one. I'm trying to pick up 2 there, but
there you go. It could happen. I'm not an Indiana believer yet. I just think last year they were okay. I just think they got too much love for. Anyway, we'll see.
And the last thing I'll say on that is I agree 100%. They were overrated last year, and BYU should have been in their playoff spot. But Illinois, the story's still out on Illinois. Scoring 59 points against another Power 4 team in your conference who's ranked is ridiculous. So
Wow.
I think if they go off, they can keep up with Oregon offensively.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Hopefully it's a better game than I think it will be. I hope it's closer. I really do. Okay, let's go for our dogs this week. This was a tough week for me to find one out there. So I ended up going with I got TCU at Kansas State. And the interesting thing is Kansas State is favored by 3.5 points. But I am going to go with Kansas State that they will win by more than 3.5 points at home. I just think that
wow, bold pick there.
I think K-State will take care of business at home. That's like, I don't think TCU. I've watched 2 or 3 of their games. The Colorado game, they didn't. Yeah, TCU is just they don't play consistent football. K-State's going to get them at home.
Yeah, a little disappointed. Just this quick one on that with Avery Johnson. Thought he would have done a lot better this year, and has not shown up. So that's unfortunate. Yep. Well, I'm going to the SEC this week. Mizzou is a 5.5 point underdog against Alabama, and I'm going to pick Missouri outright to win this game. It's at Missouri. Alabama's a solid team. Missouri has not really played a big marquee game yet. I think I'm in the same boat with Indiana. This is their opportunity to come on stage at home and take down a big team. I just think DeBoer there at Alabama doesn't have the troops disciplined enough. He's not Nick Saban. And anyway, so I'm taking Missouri outright in that one.
He was trying to go for a 2
There you go.
This could be a big week. This could be a big week.
This might be Houston's week.
Boo, Utah, bro. Come on now.
So mine is the Florida versus Texas A&M game. And the interesting thing about this one is Florida in particular, outside of the FCS team that they've played, they have not scored more than 21 points in a game. And that includes against South Florida. Now, South Florida's in the top 25 now. I think they're a legit Group 5 team. But I don't think that Florida is that great. And so Texas A&M is 9.5 point favorites. I think Texas A&M wins by well more than 9.5 points.
I think it's a good pick. Yeah, A&M looks good.
Yeah, A&M does look good. That's a good one. And I'm with you, Gordon. I think that's a good pick on K-State. I like it. So my underdog is I don't think Ohio State is as explosive as everyone thinks. They'll still win this game, but I think Illinois finds a way offensively to hang with them, and Ohio State does not cover. So give me Ohio State, but they're not going to cover the spread.
Yeah, I like it.
All right.
I can see it. I mean, they struggled against Washington early to score points, and I think given the right matchup, I like it. I think it'll be a good one. So, well, that was great. Good pick'ems, guys, and I'm excited for this week. I need some love to get some 4 points back.
You're going all out, man. When you
selling my soul to Salt Lake City for this one. But anyway, well, just want to say thanks, Blaine. Thanks for coming on, dude. This is freaking awesome. Loved having you on. And this will probably be happening some more. I know you're a busy coach in the next couple of months here, but we'd love to have you back on for some basketball here in a couple months and get some of that going. But thanks for coming on, dude. Appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. This was an absolute blast.
See you, Blaine.
Yeah, love you guys. Great job.
Thanks, Blaine.
Yep. See you.
All right.
Yeah, well,
this could be a fun week for
I like it.
Football pick'ems, man.
Yes, it'll be good. All right. Well, I think let's just head straight over into snake draft. We'll go ahead and get that knocked out real quick.
Yeah. So after this week, Houston with another dominating win. This past week, we did the top 3 mascots, and Houston won with flying colors. I think Gordon had 1 vote. I had 2 votes, and Houston had all the rest. It was like 80%, 90%, something like that. So congrats to Houston on another dominating win. So that puts me at 4 points total, Houston at 2 points total with 2 wins in a row, and Gordon at 0. I'm sorry, the
Billiken didn't pull it out for me.
The Billiken didn't pull it out for you, man.
That's awesome.
So, anyways, but yeah, great turnout again. I gotta keep shouting out everybody that's being involved in that. It's really fun, and we're getting a lot of involvement on social media with these pick'ems. And so, thank you for being a part of it and continue to be part of it because we're loving it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so moving in, we had a little discussion, I think, off the record here, Dad, but Jace and you tied, but I believe if Jace voted for himself, that would have moved him into the second spot. So I was going to put him in the second spot. Unless you have objection, we can send it to the randomizer.
It's all good.
Okay. All right.
No argument from me.
Okay. Well, I'll have the first slot. I'm going to pick first as well. So Jace, where do you want to go?
I got to go second. Have to.
Okay, then we'll put Dad third. So this
All
week
right.
we are doing top 3 current college football coaches. So I'll start us off, and then we'll go to Jason and my dad. A couple here, really good coaches that have won a lot, won national championships. I hate them. But I think I got to take Kirby Smart at number 1. I really don't like him. I hate Georgia, whatever. He's been a great coach.
Yeah.
They played extremely well. So give me Kirby Smart for
Good
number
pick.
1.
It's
Good
a really
pick.
good pick.
Yep.
And I've gone back and forth, right? Where do I go with someone who's winning a lot? Do I go with someone who I just really like? I think for my first pick, I've got to go with someone who I just like because I think they'll get taken if I don't. I really like Marcus Freeman.
I was gonna take him.
He's an absolute stud. Took his team to the national championship last year. He's building something special over at Notre Dame, and I just really like him as a person and how he carries himself. So give me Marcus Freeman.
Yeah, that's
Very
a great
good.
pick.
That's a good pick.
I was between him and Kirby on number 1, so that's good.
Well, at number 3, that means I get 2, right?
Yep.
Well, I'm going to go with a theme here, and I think you'll figure it out after I make my picks. So
he's going to go. I already know what he's going to do after.
So my number 1 pick for coaches right now is Steve Sarkisian, the Sark.
Yep.
He has done an incredible job at Texas. I mean, he's been in the coaching world for a few years, but what he's done at Texas, I mean, he's turned that program around. It's been since Mac Brown left, they have been an average team, but he has done a great job. I know they're struggling a little right now. I say struggling, but they're still a really good team.
Yep.
Pick number 2, which you'll get the theme here. I got to go with my man Kalani.
Yep.
10 years. You look at what he's done. You look what he's done in the Big 12. I'm just take away the first 7 years of his coaching. Look what he's done in 3 years in the Big 12. We're a contender. We tied for the league championship last year. Didn't go to the game. We have the number 6 recruiting class in the country for 2026. The culture he's built there. I just think he's, you can say what you want. I think he's one of the top 25 coaches in the country.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's a good
super good. So this, I went with one that I like. I'm going with one that's just good. Give me Ryan Day at Ohio State. He's killing it over there. He wins a lot of games. They're a powerhouse team. You think of powerhouse teams in college football. Ohio State is definitely in the top 3. So give me Ryan Day.
That's a good pick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Man, it's the theme this week. Just call me a Hoosier, but I'm gonna go with Kirk Cignetti over at Indiana. A football program who has frankly been off the map for my lifetime. I feel like maybe even a couple of lifetimes. Indiana football has just not been in any conversation whatsoever. Takes a team to a playoff. They look really good this year. I think they could beat Oregon. So yeah, I'm going to take Kurt Cignetti at 2. And then for my third, I'm back and forth on a couple of coaches. Oh man. I have a couple of honorable mentions, but I think I'm going to go with another coach that I think has done a great job turning their team around. And I'm going to go with Mario Cristobal at Miami.
There you go.
That may hurt me because people don't know who he is. But another team that I think a coach has come in and taken a program that was not relevant for a long time, since the early 2000s, and turned him around and made him a contender. So
Good pick.
This is a good pick. Gosh, I'm going back and forth too. This guy doesn't have a track record other than making the Alamo Bowl last year, but to turn around a program, get as much national media as he did, Heisman contender last year, changing the culture of a program as quick and as effective as he did. Give me Deion Sanders.
Prime time.
It's good.
Prime time. Well, so there's a lot of good coaches out there. And for my third pick, I had thoughts of maybe going with Dan Lanning at Oregon. But the reason I'm not going to go with him is because they've got money and everybody knows about him. I'm going to go kind of off the radar, kind of like with Houston's pick. I'm going to go with Matt Campbell from Iowa State.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And the reason I go with Matt Campbell from Iowa State is they don't have the money. Iowa State is not a marquee city to go to, but yet you look what he has done. So in my mind, it makes him a better coach than Dan Lanning because he's doing more with the fewer resources at that program. Consistently has a team every year that's winning 8, 9, 10 games, which is very tough to do. And he's got another good team this year. I mean, it will remain to be seen, but I think he's number 3, Matt Campbell, Iowa State.
Yeah, I like it. It's a good pick. I thought about Dan as too, but Oregon's been good for a long time before Dan Lanning. So
yes, they were.
Yeah.
I was gonna honorable mention was Dabo Sweeney. He's on the downhill a lot like Oklahoma State's Mike Gundy. That was also on my list as a potential. Yeah. Just basically going to, even though he fired, so I guess he's not current. That would have had to go on committee, but I think they're just on the downhill because of their lack of willingness to pivot and go with the times, and it's going to affect them. But in their prime, incredible coaches. So I have to give a shout out to them. And I don't know if anybody's going to do it, but Kyle Whittingham as well. As much as I hate him, great coach. Yeah. He really is. So. Okay, so for the total, Houston, we have Kirby Smart, Kirk Cinetti, and Mario Cristobal. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
I have Marcus Freeman, Ryan Day, and Deion Sanders.
That's a good. That's going to win. That's
a good list.
It's a good list.
Gordon's got Steve Sarkisian, Kalani Sitake, and Matt Campbell, which is also
that might also be good too. Yeah,
also a very good list. So that was a fun one. Lots of good coaches out there, man. Lots of good coaches.
Absolutely. Well, fellas, good podcast. A little longer today, but I love it. Loved having people on, and like we've talked about, we're excited to have more guests on as we move forward, and especially in the basketball season. So look out for that. We are a month away from basketball, so I'm getting freaking excited about that.
Yeah. We got a lot of fun months ahead of us as we get to the postseason of college football and getting into basketball season, and it's gonna be fun. So.
For sure. So just head over to our Instagram once again. Like always, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe on YouTube as well. Keep participating in the polls and in our snake draft, and appreciate y'all. So go Cougs.
Go Cougs.